Welcome.
Hi everyone. So for the March demo video, we can't do the Wi-Fi Explorers activity because that would require having access to a modem, and we are programmed within a college that would not appreciate getting their Wi-Fi messed with. And we certainly do not have access to the modem. So instead we'll be doing the other take-home activity in the activity guide, which is going to be talking about touchscreens. So you will have to test out and see if it works on your own for the Wi-Fi activity. Apologies, but there isn't much we could do about it otherwise. Hello everyone! So, for this March demo video, we are going to be doing an activity that actually requires a phone. What we'll be doing is testing out a variety of materials to see how much the screen reacts to it when you touch it, and test and see like what works, what doesn't work, and then we're going to be talking about why it works like that. We have a variety of materials here. So, for example, I have some magnetic putty that I just found in our storage that I figured, that's kind of fleshy. And maybe this will activate the touch screen. So what I have pulled up on my phone here is some Spider Solitaire. That's just basically a card game. And if I try to tap any one of these, it doesn't seem to do anything, and the timer doesn't start. So that's a pretty good sign that this putty doesn't work for our purposes. So about an eraser at the end of your pencil. So if we try that, still nothing. As compared to, say, my finger here, it does start the timer, it moves a card. Yeah. Another thing that I wanted to try was potentially a pen. It's kind of like a stylus, so maybe that'll work. And no, it does not work. What about pipe cleaner, just for curiosity's sake? Doesn't change anything, the move counter doesn't go up. Then, let's try some paper. Nothing. And finally, one last thing that I wanted to try was one of these giant pointer things. Figured it'd be a good use for it. Nope. So, what about all these materials makes them impossible to use for your touchscreen? That's, say, your finger or a stylus that you get for a phone. What do those have that make a phone responsive to touch? Well, what's actually happening in touchscreens is that there's a little bit of electricity going all over the phone, the very surface of it, thanks to a special cover that's over the glass of the phone. And this conducts electricity. And it's very small, you don't feel it, it's not going to hurt you or anything. It's probably less than even like a static shock. And what happens is, at the edges of your phone are these little detectors that notice when electricity is not getting conducted from a particular position. Because, say, you had a detector here and a detector here, well then if you touch here, what's happening is that if there were two forms of detectors here, they would both notice, hey, there's no more electricity coming from this place. Why is that? So that would mean that someone would have to have touched right around here, because it had to be around this lane and along here. So it's kind of like a grid system. And that's kind of what's happening when you are using touchscreens.